in order to make up for the disadvantage. Once we beat those two, we officially beaten the second tournament of the game. The next tutorial we get is a new style of battle royale. I hate that anytime I think of that word, the big fort and knight is all I can think about. With the battle royale mode unlocked comes the next tournament using that style, but that's not the part that worries me about it. The worst part about the next tournament is the stage. The stage is a desert style area that is more open and doesn't really have any strict path routes I can take to get more power. The worst part is also that surrounding the whole thing is quicksand that'll easily pull you in and waste a huge chunk of your stamina. Apart from the stage just sucking ass to play around with, the enemies are just as bad since most are going to be absolutely deadly. For now though, let's go over what happened. Starting off, I of course looked for a good route to adapt to since most of the Bakugan we're going to fight are going to be a hell of a lot higher than I am. As for how that went, it went, well. In all seriousness though, I was able to find some sort of route in the giant ball of dust, but the chances of me missing the card and running out of stamina is extremely high. As for the battle, we were able to beat Kira and Shuji's Bakugan pretty easily, ignoring Billy since he has the biggest type advantage and getting a double stand in order to finish the first fight. The next group is what I'd call the freaks of nature. I remember having so much trouble as a kid, hell, even as a sophomore in high school when I started to play this game again. These guys can give you a good amount of trouble, and yes, I'm talking about the fucking eye that is in the middle of a desert during a sandstorm. The PTSD I get from this area is crazy, but I think all of it is due to a very certain reason. I'm a stupid man-child that refuses to learn how games work. For some reason, this time around, I finally dedicated my brain space to learning how to collect everything around the map, so the only difference between then and now is the fact that I actually get the boost surrounding me. Another good thing to attribute is that I mostly land on my own cards. After all, it's going to be the only landing pad you have for most of these fights. One of my turns, I landed on Chun-Li's card, leaving me more open than your mother in front of your friends. A funny little thing I forgot to mention about Bakugan is how you can just throw an absolute heater at another Bakugan and absolutely kill it if you hit it right. Most of the time in the later stages, this doesn't do much against enemies, but the other way around, it is detrimental. Here's a good example of what that looks like. Yeah, so I had my work cut out for me. I locked the fuck in with a shooting minigame and somehow still won. For the final fight, I always use Leonidas to finish things off and get a more certain win, as I like to save my card boosts all for the last fight. With that last card, that's the second to the last fight of the tournament done, with a nice little surprise at the end of it. Going back to the menu, I saw that Alice had a new Bakugan, and checking in, I was able to get an even better one called Fear Ripper. Fucking Fear Ripper. You're telling me some 8-year-old, if he was lucky enough, could just have the ruler of hell? The last fight of the tournament is a scary one since all 3 of my enemies are mainline characters, that being Marucho and Runo again, but also including the star of the show, Julie. Julie has all ground Bakugan. Her special Bakugan is called Gorum. Now, if you're not scared of Gorum, then you're not scared of the right thing.